Welcome everybody to Mind the Snap. And if you're still emotionally recovering from Wild Card Weekend, well yeah, same.
I mean, seriously, comebacks, collapses, block punts, defensive touchdowns, rookie quarterbacks becoming legends overnight. This weekend said sleep is optional.
We had underdogs barking, favourites sweating, and at least 3 fan bases staring at the TV like, that really just happened?
The Bears erased an 18-point deficit. The Rams still won at the last second. The Bills won with a tush brush. And the Patriots reminded everyone that defense still ruins plans.
And somewhere right now, a kicker is still thinking about a miss that changed an entire season.
But that's play of football. No style points, no apologies. Just survive, advance.
Wildcard Weekend didn't just give us winners, it gave us storylines, villains, heroes, and a whole lot of receipts.
And now, pretenders are gone, the contenders remain, and the divisional round is awaiting.
So buckle up, because this is just the opening act. Good morning, Snappers. Grab the coffee, hide from the kids. This is your Saturday morning headlines. And the coaching carousel is already spinning like a busted fairground ride.
6 teams, big names, big pressure. Let's fly through it.
So we start with the Giants first. Brian Double gone, Mike Kafka the interim, and the name being whispered everywhere.
John Harper.
Big marquee franchise, and a rookie QB in Jackson Dart who actually showed promise.
But, this is a massive but, the roster is thin. And the ownership kept Joe Schoen on after 3 losing seasons.
Looks good on paper though, but tricky in reality.
Yeah, the next one on there is the end of an era. Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin steps down.
Can you believe it? They've only had 3 coaches since 1969. That is unreal stability.
But you're going to be following a legend. And the quarterback situation there is murky.
It is, with Aaron Rodgers. Because of Tomlin, without him, big questions.
And adding aging stars, so they've got like TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward. This is not going to be one of those plug-and-play jobs, is it?
Another job up for grabs is Miami. Mike McDaniel's gone. Facilities are absolute elite. And there is an owner there willing to spend.
And there are five picks in the first 3 rounds next year. That's a tasty combination.
But the cap hit though, man, that is brutal. Tua, Tyreek Hill combined for $108 million. Woo.
If you think of that, Tua's been benched. Hill's out injured. This job lives and dies by this draft, I think. So for me, the best job on the board, the Baltimore Ravens. This is no debate for me.
Oh, 100%, man. You inherit Lamar Jackson for a start, a Pro Bowl roster, and one of the most stable franchises in football.
But that pressure, it is immediate.
Yeah, definitely. You're judged on one thing only. Can you get Lamar deep into January? Which moves us on to the Cardinals. I mean, this could be a sleeper's pick here.
There's so much young talent there. Marvin Harrison Jr. and one of the first tight end picks of the fantasy draft, I think, next year. Trey McBride. And even Buda Baker.
Man, they got some plans, but the injuries do linger. I mean, the ownership's cautious with the cash, and that NFC West is vicious.
Oh, so vicious, man. It's you've got to almost look at all 4 teams qualifying from that division. It's a very high ceiling there, but it's a very sharp floor.
It is.
And then finally, Vegas.
Woo! 10 draft picks. I mean, they've got the number 1 overall, second most cap space in the league. Who doesn't like a trip to Vegas?
Yeah, and the young stars like Brock Bowers and Ashton Jaunty.
But 5th head coach since 2021, stability there is optional.
I think stability in Vegas is optional for anybody. But there'll always be that Max Crosby trade talk. Doesn't matter how many times he says he loves it in Vegas and he's part of the Institute. It's a culture test straight away.
Man, there is. So to wrap it up, quick verdict, the Ravens is definitely the best job. But the Raiders' biggest reset button?
Yeah. I mean, the Giants are the biggest headache there, and those are some big shoes to fill at the Steelers.
Oh yeah, and somewhere in all of this, a coach is about to get very rich. The beers on that man.
I'm very stressed.
Right then, hypothetical time. You've got the offense on the table, the agent's on the phone, Lee. Which job are you going to take?
Without overthinking, straight in there, Ravens.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, elite quarterback, King Henry, the winning culture, stable ownership. You're not really rebuilding, are you? You're just kind of reloading. They've had a few injuries this year which have derailed them a little bit, but that pressure is massive. But that is the job.
Yeah, mate, and if you win one Super Bowl there, you are basically immortal for life.
And you?
I'm going Vegas, baby.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
But here we are, though. You get the number 1 overall pick. There's loads of cap space. There's 10 draft picks, and you get a clean slate.
But it's a franchise that fires coaches like it's a hobby, though.
True. But if they do give you some time, you build it your way, then maybe. But if it all goes wrong, though, at least you've had a crack with full control, I guess.
Yeah, and it's tax-free in Nevada, so beer's on you.
Yeah.
So what about the Steelers then?
Honestly, that's probably one I'm a bit scared of, that one.
Yeah, it's you're following a legend, aren't you? The expeditions are sky high, and that roster is what should I say? Complicated.
Yeah, agree. And that's a no mistakes allowed job without really a ready-made quarterback.
We're not really a ready-made O-line, is it?
No, that's like you say there. You don't want to go in there with the record Tomlin had. Big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
What about the Giants, mate?
No. That's a big market, but there's too much noise there. Too many layers. If you win 8 games, which is a massive improvement on this year, it's still a crisis.
Agreed, mate. And you're rebuilding and fighting history there, aren't you?
Miami could be tempting there.
Yep. Lots of sun, facilities, draft capital.
It's just like that cap situation. That terrifies me.
Yeah, same, man. I mean, you miss one on one draft and you're stuck there, really, aren't you?
And then the wild card Arizona.
High upside, low patience, but a brutal division.
I mean, that's really a prove that you're clever job, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So the verdict then. So Baltimore, if you want to win it now.
Vegas if you want control.
Steelers if you're feeling brave.
Giants if you like stress.
And Miami if you trust your scouting department with your life.
So let us know which job you're taking. Catch us on TikTok and or Instagram. Give us a buzz on there.
That's your Saturday morning minus snap.
That's the coffee finished and more NFL chaos loading.
Welcome back, Snappers. Let's review Wildcard Weekend. And we start off with one of the most electrifying games of Wildcard Weekend. The LA Rams 34-31 playoff win over the Carolina Panthers.
Absolutely. So this one had it all. Huge momentum swings, a big comeback threat from Carolina, and a classic late playoff drive finished by Rams veteran Papa Stafford.
And the first half, I mean, the Rams jumped out early. Right from the start, it felt like the Rams game. Stafford connected early with old Puka Nacua for a 14-yard touchdown, and then later, Nacua ran in his own touchdown, giving the Rams, I say surprising, but a good steady start, 14-0 lead.
Yeah, but it didn't look as though Carolina was fair, did it really? I was actually quite impressed with Bryce Young. He was patient, methodical, and they clawed themselves back in it. Like Chuba Hubbard pounced on a short score, and then Young added a long TD run. That's the longest by a Panthers QB in playoff history, and that kept things tight at half-time.
Man, you're right. And then in the third quarter, though, really adjustments. The scoring slowed down a bit in the third, but both teams did show some resilience. Stafford had a costly interception, but the Rams' defense kept Carolina from pulling away.
And on the other side, Jalen Kirk was mixing it up. Some big plays and chunk yardage to help keep the Panthers competitive. It was shaping up to be a classic playoff slugfest.
It wasn't, and in the fourth quarter, it went absolutely wild. The Rams took back the lead on a Kyron Williams 13-yard tutty, But then special teams haunted the Rams. A block punt gave Carolina the ideal field position, and as you mentioned, Young hit Coker for a 7-yard score to go up 31-27 with under 3 minutes left.
To that point, you could feel the shock in the stadium. It's a home underdog on the brink of a massive upset. That's when Papa Stafford reminded everyone why he's a playoff legend.
He did indeed, and then with about 2.5 minutes left, Stafford delivered one of the great late drives in recent playoff memory. Calm, composed, some precision past it. He moved the Rams 71 yards in just 7 plays.
And that dagger, a 19-yard touchdown to tight end Colby Parkinson with just 38 seconds left on the clock. Rams led 34-31, and the crowd went silent. But the rest was just chess.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers' final attempt stalled under pressure, and then the Rams held on for the win. Just brutally awesome football.
It was, yeah. Man, there's some highlights there, wasn't there? Oh, Papa Stafford, again, just his casual over 300 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and that game-winning score when it mattered. Oh, Puka, 10 catches. Well, that's a bad day at the office for him, isn't it? 10 catches, 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's an average day out for Puka. But Bryce Young, himself there, 264 yards, 1 passing and 1 rushing. Tough loss for him, but it's a strong showing. It's not one that gets a lot of love. Yeah, and then Chuba Hubbard and Jalen Coker. That's their big pair duo, isn't it? They kept it tight to the end.
This was an absolute wild card thriller, I must admit. The Panthers, when they were 14-0, I thought it was over. I was like, well, they're done here. But they come roaring back, and they almost pulled off the upset win.
It was, yeah. It's it shows some changes there, I think, with the Rams. It was more methodical, wasn't it? They didn't go for the kill. They chose points when it mattered most, but now they advance to face the Bears in the divisional round, which I don't think they'll be as polite as the Carolina Panthers were.
No, and that moves us on to the next NFC wildcard thriller. The Bears' stunning 31-27 comeback win over the Packers at Soldier Field.
Yeah, it's Love finished the first half in multiple touchdown passes, including connections to Christian Watson and others, giving the Packers a commanding halftime lead.
Green Bay's offense, though, was productive early, scoring on 3 of their first possessions, but the Bears' defense bent, but it didn't quite break. They stayed disciplined enough to keep the Bears within range.
Yeah, and that was the key, wasn't it? Keep them in range. And then the Bears started slowly chipping away. A field goal in the third quarter score kept the hopes alive, going into the Bears' famous fourth quarters.
It's almost becoming that now. I mean, in the fourth quarter, as you say, the Bears absolutely exploded, and that's where it got wild. Trailing 21-6 at the start of the fourth quarter, and then the Bears just erupted for 25 points in that final frame and completely flipped the script.
Yeah, one of the most dramatic finishes we've seen in wildcard history. Caleb Williams led the charge with a couple of clutch throws, capped by a 25-yard touchdown to DJ Moore, with less than 2 minutes left to take the lead.
It was mega, wasn't it? And the Bears' defence forced crucial stops, and a missed Packers field goal late in the fourth quarter swung it in momentum towards the Bears.
And although Green Bay, they had a chance in the final seconds, with Jordan Love's Hail Mary attempt, just fell incomplete, which sealed the Bears' 31-27 victory. Stand-up performances there. Caleb Williams came up huge in his first playoff start, throwing for 361 yards and 2 late touchdown passes to lift Chicago.
Man, he was impressive once again, wasn't it? I mean, fair play to the Packers though. Jordan Love was impressive considering he's been out for a while. Well, statistically anyway, who threw multiple touchdowns, but a late collapse and that missed field goal proved costly. Yeah. But this was a huge moment in the long Packers-Bears rivalry. The Bears' first playoff win since 2010 and the first postseason victory over Green Bay in decades.
Yeah, it was stressful. I don't think of the word. Yeah, it's the Bears' comebacks are becoming a norm. So I'd rather they play with that fourth quarter intensity in the first quarter and build up a commanding lead.
Yeah.
But they showed that they're not just contenders, and they can finish games under pressure. And it's that. But for me, that game, the explosive offense, the big momentum swings, the unforgettable fourth quarter, and I think this Bear team is really peaking at the right time.
Yeah, and then for the Packers, I mean, it's probably a bitter end to the season, but a matchup like this will fuel off-season discussions about roster rebuilding and finishing those games in tight spots.
But yeah, they really missed Parsons in there.
Fair play to the Bears, though. What a win! What a way to move on into the divisional round.
Yeah, there's some incredible stats around Caleb Williams and the Bears' offense in the final quarter. They've not seen anything like that in the playoffs before.
He was unreal, man.
Incredible throw out to Moore as well.
Becoming like a routine for him now, isn't it? The Williams to Moore, Moore play.
It is, but he throws some funny angles there, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
It's going to be some quarterback for years to come. But talking about quarterbacks.
Next, we're breaking down one of the most dramatic games from the wild card weekend. Let's go, Buffalo! 27-24 road victory over the Jacksonville Jags, in which was an AFC thriller.
Yeah, this one had crazy momentum swings, clutch performance from Josh Allen to pull it out late, and was Buffalo's first road playoff win in over 30 years.
Man, that is mental, not to win a playoff road game for 30 years. I mean, the game got going early. We struck first with a 50-yard field goal from Matt Prater. Gave us a good 3-0 early lead.
Yeah, Jacksonville answered in the second quarter when Trevor Lawrence connected with Brian Thomas Jr. on a short TD to tie it up before Allen got offended and responded with a 2-yard rushing score to make it 10-7 at halftime.
Yeah, in the mid-game, I mean, it was back and forth this whole game, where at the third quarter, both teams traded field goals. The mighty Bills took the lead with a 47-yard from Prater, but then Jacksonville answered straight back with one of their own to keep it tight.
Jacksonville don't miss in those situations, do they? Yeah, 47 yards is close, isn't it, for them?
Yeah.
But Jackson's run game, but led by Travis Etienne and Tootin, showed up at times. But both defences were bending and not always breaking.
There were, and in that fourth quarter, there was lead changes and late drama. I mean, it was absolute chaos. There were 4 lead changes in the final 15 minutes, tied for the most in playoff quarter in NFL history.
I thought it was over when the Jags took the lead late, but the Buffalo drove down the field on a huge 66-yard drive, keyed by a crucial fourth down shove. The infamous tush push to keep the chains moving.
And then Super Josh, with just over a minute remaining, Josh Allen powered in from that 1 yard out for the go-ahead touchdown. His second rushing score of the game, though.
Yeah, on Jacksonville's final possession, Lawrence was intercepted with 54 seconds left, allowing the Bills to run out the clock.
I mean, there was some key stuff in that game, but the key standout performance, obviously, for the Bills was Josh Allen. He led the Bills with 273 passing yards, 3 total tutties, 1 passing and 2 rushing, while he did complete 28 of 35 attempts.
Not bad, is it? That's put himself in the MVP slot there, I think.
Oh, he was immense, yeah.
And for the Jags, Trevor Lawrence threw for 3 touchdowns, but it was those 2 interceptions that ultimately swung the game.
Oh, 100%. I mean, what it means now, the win sends the Bills into the AFC divisional round, and it was extra sweet considering it snapped the Bills' long streak of road playoff losses.
Yeah, and even though Jacksonville's season ends in heartbreak fashion, despite that strong year, which gave them that AFC South title and high expectations, but they are building. And you could really show that they've turned a corner, I think.
The thing I felt for them, when I think they were fourth and few, and then they decided to run it rather than kick it, and Lawrence had his shin down. I mean, maybe I wonder if they look back now and go, maybe we should took the points, but that's playoff football. You got to gamble it sometimes, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So, final
thoughts? The wildcard weekend delivered again. A back and forth game, big plays late, and a legendary performance from my boy Josh.
Yep, so the Bills are moving on. But the Jags showing they can compete, and this game will be remembered as one of the wildest finishes of the 2026 playoffs. Talking of wild games, we're breaking down one of wildcard weekend's biggest upsets. The 49ers road win over the defending Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles, 23-19.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, the Eagles came into Lincoln Field as favourites, but the 49ers outplayed them late and pulled off a huge playoff victory, advancing to face the Seahawks this week.
Yeah, it was a fast start, wasn't it, from the Niners? When Brock Purdy hit DeMarcus Robinson for a touchdown early, giving the Niners the lead.
The Eagles did respond well, though, with Dallas Goedert scoring a 1-yard run, and then he hauled in a touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts, giving the Eagles the edge at half-time, 13-7.
Yeah, even a missed field goal didn't impact their lead. But then the 49ers suffered a huge blow. I really say a huge blow for their playoff hopes, for their Super Bowl hopes, isn't it, really? It's tight end George Kittle, season-ending Achilles injury. It's a major emotional and a tactical loss.
Oh, 100%, man. What a loss he is. And then the Eagles' high-power offense, they just couldn't get going after half-time, could they? They managed only 3 points in the second half, struggling to really sustain drives.
That offense has been the same all season, though, hasn't it?
It's been so hit and miss, isn't it?
I think if they were in any other division, they wouldn't have made the playoffs. It was just, I think, that their poor division that they're in is they were almost guaranteed to win that and get themselves through. And with that fourth quarter was tight. Early in the period, the 49ers, Juwan Jennings kept the play alive through a trick play touchdown to Christian McCaffrey, which gave San Fran a 17-16 lead.
I mean, the Eagles did respond, though, didn't they, with that field goal to go up 19-17. But, I mean, that wasn't the final twist.
Oh, with time winding down, Purdy orchestrated a late scoring drive, capped with a 4-yard touchdown pass to C-Mac with less than 3 minutes to play, which put the Eagles up.
And then the Eagles' final push fell short, including a 4th and 11th pass breakup that ended the Eagles' comeback hopes, sealing the 49ers' victory.
Exactly, so they put themselves in the position with that missed field goal, didn't they? On the missed extra point in the first half.
Yeah.
So they had to go for the touchdown. They couldn't tie for overtime. But there, it's like standout performances there. So Brock Purdy's answered a lot of questions, I think. 262 yards passing yards and 2 touchdowns. He guided them down to a huge road win.
Oh, definitely. And again, C-Mac was a dual threat, again with 2 TD catches, and DeMarcus Robinson added a big 111 receiving yards and a score.
Yeah, such a statement win for the 49ers. Beating the defending champs on the road, despite all their injuries and adversity.
Yeah, and that's what he said. For the Eagles, offensive inconsistency and some questionable play calling late left fans and analysts frustrated. Their season ends earlier than probably people expected.
Exactly, yeah. So, with that in mind, it was a thrilling wildcard upset and a huge confidence booster for the 49ers as they head into the divisional round against the number 1 seed Seahawks next weekend.
Can't do it. And then for the Eagles, despite big expectations as defending champions, they now shift to off-season mode. Plenty to unpack there in Philadelphia.
Yep. And next up was Sunday night's AFC wildcard matchup between the Chargers and the Pats. A game that was anything but a shootout. Yeah, the final score, Patriots 16, Chargers 3.
Man, you are so right. This one was a defensive slugfest from start to finish. The Pats' defense absolutely set the tone and kept the Chargers' high-powered offense off the board all night.
It was such a methodical defensive football, wasn't it? The first half was low scoring. The Pats struck first with a field goal from Andy Borregales, and then the Chargers answered with Cameron Dicker field goal to tie it up at an astonishing 3-3 at halftime.
I mean, both offenses struggled really to sustain any sort of rhythm, didn't they? Especially the Chargers. I mean, the Pats' pass rush was relentless, and Justin Herbert spent most of the night under pressure.
Exactly. It's such a classic example of defense dictating the game. We talked about this, didn't we, with whether or not the coaches would trust Drake May to dictate the game, but they logged six sacks on the Chargers, and then including one of them which forced a costly fumble. And that turnover set up Drake May's only touchdown pass of the night to Hunter Henry late in the game.
Man, that's crazy, isn't it? And you think the Pats' defense not only pressured Herbert, they kept the Chargers to only 207 total yards of offense. I mean, that is dominant stuff in a playoff environment. Chargers offense managed only a single field goal all night.
It is indeed. It's incredible, isn't it? It shows a difference there, isn't it? People have always talked about the easy schedule that the Pats have had, and the yards they've been putting in against the Jets and teams like that. But they've showed on this one, isn't it, that they can really switch you around when they need to. That pass rush has always been there, hasn't it? It is relentless, and Trusty Herbert was not on anything, was he?
Weren't his night. Definitely not his night.
No. There was that huge moment, wasn't it, with the Chargers inside the Pats' 5-yard line in the first half. Instead of cashing in for a touchdown, they came away for nothing. And that kind of defined the game, really, wasn't it?
It did, man. I mean, another turning point was the Pats' defence keeping Herbert and company off the scoreboard in the second half. Even after the Chargers had a decent start, pressure and confusion in coverage really hampered the Chargers' executions.
Yeah. Apart from the pass rush, it's really difficult, isn't it, to think of standout performances. On paper, you've got Drake May, 260-yard passing yards. But to me, 268 passing yards and one touchdown from that.
Not good.
It's what happened to the rest of it. But
Yeah.
It's his first career appearance, and it's ended in a win. And he had a passing touchdown in there, so he can only learn from that. Yeah, he can only learn.
Definitely. I mean, defensively, the Pats' pass rush in the secondary, I mean, they were probably the real stars, weren't they?
Yeah.
Quarterback Justin Herbert was held just 159 passing yards and no tutties, and now falls to 0-3 in playoff games.
Is indeed. People talk about Sam Darnold, didn't they? And 0 for 3 in playoff games. It's not good luck for what we call Trusty Herbert in the regular season.
No.
It's Dusty Herbert in the playoffs.
Dusty Herbert this weekend.
Yeah, but this win sends the Pats into the divisional round, where they'll host either the Steelers or Texans. As we know now, it's going to be the Texans. Her first home playoff win in several years, which is a huge statement for this team.
Yeah. Then for the Chargers, the 2026 season, it does end in some disappointment. They did have a strong regular season, gave way to an offense that just couldn't capitalise when it mattered most. Plenty for them to chew on in the off-season.
Yeah, it was just a defensive clinic from the Pats. And such a tough night for LA Chargers. It's play football, just getting the job done, isn't it?
It is.
And the Pats move on. But talking about a game that wasn't close, but was a defensive masterclass. The Houston Texans were dominant, with a 30-6 road win over the Steelers. This game just wasn't a close one, and it's probably one of the most complete defensive efforts you'll ever see in the playoffs.
Man, you are so right. The Texans not only clinched their first playoff road victory in franchise history, they did it in emphatic fashion, shutting down veteran QB Mr. Rodgers and the Steelers' offense that simply couldn't get untapped.
Yeah, the Steelers did strike first, though, didn't they? With a 32-yard field goal, give them an early lead.
They did, and Houston responded before half-time. CJ Stroud hit Christian Kirk on a 6-yard touchdown pass to flip the scoreboard and put the Texans 7-3 up going into the break.
But from there, it was just all Texans. The Houston defense was relentless, limiting the Steelers to just 175 total yards and kept Pittsburgh off the scoreboard in the entire second half.
Poor Rodgers, one of the all-time greats, he was under siege all night, weren't he? The Texans sacked him multiple times and forced turnovers that completely shift momentum.
It's not something you want at his age, is it? Yeah. But early in the fourth quarter, Houston made a big defensive play. Rankin scooped up a Rodgers fumble and returned it for 33 yards for a touchdown, which gave them the commanding lead.
Then not long after that, Kalen Bullock took an interception back 50 yards for a pick six, adding to the scoring and sealing that 30-6 victory, and it was emphatic.
Yeah, Kirk was a bright spot, wasn't he, offensively for Houston, with a big night in receptions and yardage. And running Marks rushed for over 100 yards and a score. And it's such both huge factors, aren't they, in sustaining those drives.
And then on the other side of it, not a good night for the Steelers. Rodgers was held at just 146 passing yards. I mean, they really struggled to find any rhythm against that suffocating Texans pass rush.
Yep, and with this win, the Texans advance to the divisional round, and they will visit the Pats. It's such a huge opportunity for Houston after their statement road victory.
Meanwhile, the Steelers' season ends in disappointment once again. Pittsburgh extend its playoff woes with this loss. We know what's going on now with Mike Tomlin leaving, so there'll be lots of questions going into the off-season.
Yeah, for me, it was just a complete team effort from the Texans. The defense, opportunity turnovers, and timely scoring made the difference.
Join us next as we preview the upcoming divisional round matchups and break down all the action. Welcome back, Snappers. Wildcard weekend delivered chaos, comebacks, and a few straight-up beatdowns. And now we're down to 8. It's time to preview the divisional round.
4 games, 4 heavyweight matchups, and 0 margin for error. Let's break them down, some storylines, keys to the game, and who's got the edge.
Now let's start with the NFC with an absolute fascinating matchup. The Bears versus the Rams. I mean, the Bears are coming off that unbelievable comeback against the Packers, while the Rams, well, they just about survived against the Panthers.
I think this game is all about momentum versus experience. So the Bears are riding emotional highs behind Williams, but he now faces the veteran defense and a Papa Stafford who's seen every playoff scenario imaginable.
He is. And the key question is, can the Bears defense recreate that fourth quarter magic? Because Stafford and Puka Nacua are going to test every inch of that secondary.
But on the flip side, though, if Williams plays loose and confident like he did against the Packers, it can get uncomfortable for the Rams real fast.
Up next, we've got the 49ers take on the Seahawks. A rivalry game with serious postseason stakes.
Yep, San Fran just knocked out the defending champs in Philly. And they with toughness, creativity, and defense. But now they're running to the top seed Seahawks at home.
Yeah, I mean, this one is going to be absolutely physical. Can the 49ers control the clock with C-Mac? And can Brock Purdy stay clean in the pocket?
And then for Seattle, it's all about handling the pressure. And the man we've talked about handling pressure in Sam Darnold, haven't we? He's been added to the injury report today. The oblique injury. And they said they've been running plays with the QB2. So that makes a huge difference for me for the Seahawks. It's but the rest of the team, so they're rested and they're favoured. But the Niners, with that home Super Bowl in their sights, have got nothing to lose, and those teams are dangerous.
God, they are, definitely. Then we switch over to the AFC. The Patriots take on the Texans. Defense lovers, this one's for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the Pats just smother the Chargers, while the Houston dismantle the Steelers with defense and opportunity scoring.
I mean, the spotlight is going to be on CJ Stroud going into Foxborough. It's a tough environment. There's playoff pressure. and a Patriots defense that thrives on the offense making mistakes.
But you still sleep on that Houston's pass rush. I think if they can disrupt the Pats early on, and then try and turn it into a grind out upset, I think that could be key for them.
And then finally, well, the one that I'm definitely circling, obviously, the Bills take on the Broncos.
And here we go, Josh Allen versus Bo Nix in the playoffs. It's not going to disappoint.
No, I mean, the Bills survived in Jacksonville with some late game heroics. And Allen is pretty much playing with I'll just do it myself edge at the moment. But Denver at home in January, that is a different beast.
Yeah, the key is turnovers. If the Bills protect the ball, they can absolutely win this game. But if Nets get those extra possessions, that is how the season ends.
Right, Lee. So we only got 4 games this week, which is easy. Well, I mean, say easier than normal. But let's have a look at our picks. Let's start with the 49ers and Seahawks. Then coming off the news you've just said, what are you going for?
So me, as I'm going to 49ers here. 2 aspects. Yes, Sam Darnold out, or potentially out, is questionable with a oblique injury. As even if he comes off the injury report and he plays, he's not going to be 100%. With an oblique injury, he's going to struggle to really dominate those games. If the 49ers can get at him early, if he does play, and it's just going to be the 2 tails of the running game, isn't it? With C-Mac and then Njigba.
The Charbonnet they got there at the Seahawks.
Yeah.
JSN.
Yeah, it's going to be a joy, isn't it? But that's if the Seahawks can get it going. I think the 49ers now, it's the show the grit. The adversity this year, even with George Kittle limping off with a bad injury, they still managed to keep a bit of momentum. They are really pushing for this home Super Bowl. So
it's a good shout, man, to be honest. I mean, that's a great win the 49ers got in the wild card last week against the Eagles. Away from home, playing a Super Bowl champion. That's a mighty win for them. The Seahawks, you're right, if Darnold's out, it's a big blow. A lot of pressure on the Seahawks being number 1 seed as well. I am going for the Seahawks, mainly because they are the home team. They are number 1 seed. The 49ers have got lots of injuries as well. It's going to be a cracking game.
Yeah, regardless of the result, I think it's going to be a great game there. So, what we'll do, we'll go Texans-Pats next. Who are you going for?
I think it's going to be a Texans win. I wasn't convinced by the Patriots against the Chargers, and I think the Texans just showed against the Steelers, who are known as being a great defensive side, away from home in Pittsburgh, the Texans destroyed them. And take it back to our old episode with Neil last week, the Texans D can ruin anyone's season before you know it. Yep. And I feel this is what's going to happen to Drake May and co in Foxborough this weekend.
They scored 2 touchdowns on the weekend from defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't need an offense, did they, in that game? Their disruption, the way they play, they were on the pass, there was on the rush, there was everything. They're a complete defensive unit, aren't they? And for the same reason, I'm going for the Texans. I think that the Pats, to me, they don't use the weapons that they've got. They don't use the running backs the way that they could do, and the wideouts. They don't let Drake May throwing those balls deep, do they? They keep it tight and compact. And if you try to keep it tight and compact against this team, they'll just roll you over.
Yeah. I mean, can they win the Patriots? Yeah, they can do. They've proven that. Obviously, the record this year speaks for itself. I just think this might be just one step too far for them.
Yeah, and it's not a slight against the Pats. I just think they're hitting a team that, was that now their 10th win on trot for Texans?
Yeah.
They've hit form at the right time. And as I said, the Steelers are a wily team. Rodgers is not, he may be knocking on in his years, but he's no slouch, and he's got the experience, he's got the knowledge, and he had nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Texans all around there. So we'll go to Bills Broncos.
I I say this every week. I'm obviously very biasly on who I think is going to win. I'm not overly sold on the Broncos, and this is probably a real disrespect to them because they are the number 1 seed in the AFC, so they are the team to beat in the AFC. We got Josh Allen. That is my own, but he is battered and bruised from the game against the Jags last week. But it was a mighty win, though. Probably a team everyone thought we were going to potentially lose to, and we pulled it out the bag. The Broncos aren't, however good the Broncos D is, they're not a great running D, whereas the Jags were. So I think we might see the Bills run the ball a lot more this week compared to what we saw against the Jags. And I think old Cookie Monster's going to be having a little run through here, and he could be the difference maker this week. He might be the one this week, next week we're talking about, who's done it for the Bills. But the Broncos, number 1 seed at home, rested up. Cracking team, the Broncos. This one will be really close. A lot closer than last year's game.
Yeah. So for me, it's about managing Josh Allen. So if you're on the first 2 snaps, you're not going to throw it. Don't put him in. Simple as that, isn't it? It's don't let him get hit just for the sake of him being there, passing a ball 1 yard to Cookie Monster. You probably get somebody from the training practice squad to do that for him. There you go. Catch the ball, hold it to your left. Done. It's because he was battered and bruised in there. And the Broncos, they've come through in the way the Chiefs did the year before, haven't they? They've been almost the masters of that 1-score win. There's been a couple of great comebacks where they've let Bo Nix off a leash. I just don't think that it's Sean Payton's way of playing. And you can't just, against Josh Allen, you can't keep the game close. The Broncos have got to come out and they've got to get some points on the board early. They've got to keep getting points on the board every quarter. They've got to almost be taking at least 3 points from a drive.
They've got to keep that scoreboard ticking, haven't they?
Exactly, because if we're down to the fourth quarter, 15 minutes remaining, and it's still 1 score or one kick down, you don't bet against Josh Allen. It's simple for me, that is, and that's kind of what's swinging me to the Bills, because that's the way Sean Payton plays.
Yeah.
Which is a discredit to the Broncos organisation, because he's got the tools there to really hurt teams.
I think the Broncos will need to learn from the Jags a bit and run the ball. I know they're not great running with the ball, the Broncos, but the Bills have got one of the best pass Ds as well, so you really need to run at the Bills. Oh, there was so much
space there, wasn't there, for the run. Well, it wasn't even a run, was it? Every time people to walk. The walk defense.
Second half, the D was better, but it was so obvious, like they were saying on the telly. They was going around the outside of the Bills D, and they were getting so much joy, the Jags.
Yeah, and Bo Nix has got some legs on him. So make those 10 yards, make those 10 yards, make those 10 yards, 3 points on the board. Make those 10 yards, make those 10 yards, 3 points on the board. It's keep ticking over, keep that score up, and then if that D can hold out, because they've got great defense of the Broncos, but they've got to keep their offense ticking over.
Yeah,
and he just doesn't like to play that way, does he? He likes to play the old George Graham way, isn't it? 1-0 to the Arsenal. So yeah, George Graham.
I think it will be close. I think it will be a close one, but
not because of the teams. Because the Broncos have had a week off. They should be refreshed, and they've got the tools to come out and really do some damage in the first half to the Bills.
Hey man, they're number 1 seed. They should be cruising.
Yeah, but number 1 seed by 1-score wins. Not on those aspects. Not by blowing teams away. And against the Bills at this stage, you've got to look at the way Jags did. They didn't pull away, did they, when they had chances to? A couple of interceptions on Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, Trev.
Trev, yeah. Was all it needed. So with that, I'm going Bills on that.
Then we end, mate. My lovely Rams travelling to your mighty Bears.
Yeah. So Rams, I think they are one of the most complete teams in the NFL. And if this was being played at the SoFi, I would go against my Bears. I would say that at home, in the California sunshine, it'd be a different game. Even in the dome, isn't it now at SoFi with in their winter, which is a nice cool 50 odd degrees. But the weather in Chicago at the moment is brutal.
Yeah.
This is not going to be a game for the faint-hearted. And Papa Stafford has not won a game outside of a dome where it's been below 50 degrees.
Oh, that's an interesting stat, yeah.
He doesn't travel in that very well. He's not a rusher, is he? He's a very static QB. Yeah, and it's going to be slippy. Vision's not going to be great. And that Bears rush defense is very good. So I think that he'll be blitzed as well from both sides by the Bears D and by the weather. We're looking at in the negatives numbers for this game.
No thanks.
Yeah. Visibility at the moment in Chicago on the Lake Michigan shore is about what this morning was about 10 meters.
Ooh, wow. It's going to be hard for both teams on the weekend then.
And Soldier Field sits right on that shoreline. So, but it's the Bears' home. They've still got a number of players who were here last year. They played in it. They're playing this now. They're training it. They're training it all week. So I think
I'm with you a little bit. You asked me this a month ago. If this was this game, I'd have said the Rams would win. Now the Rams, to your point, I agree with you, buddy. Probably the most complete side in the NFL. Defensively good, offensively good. Probably one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in the NFL at the minute.
Yeah.
But I've not overly been convinced with them the last since they lost to the Seahawks. I've not been. Yeah, they beat the Panthers on the road, so it's probably a hard on the road win. This is going to be even harder. And as you say, in those weather conditions, ILC, everyone knows, got a lot of love for the Rams, as I've said now for 20 plus weeks as we come into the playoffs. But I think this will be the end of the road for the Rams. I can see the Bears doing it and going to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, it's currently -1 and snowing in Chicago. And it feels like -10.
Yeah.
And they've got 82% humidity as well on that. So it's going to feel cold. So 40-mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to 30 miles an hour.
Cool.
Kicking's not going to be good, is it? Special teams are going to struggle.
No.
Passing game's going to struggle. And they're not a running game, not a rush game either. So even their running backs don't really run the game, do they? They take a pass. They're kind of like a hybrid, aren't they? Like Puka is a hybrid wide receiver running back, isn't he? They're playing in front of the scrimmage, aren't they, rather than behind it. So with that, yes, I'm going to go with Bears on that one.
And both gone for the Bears. Both gone for a Bears win.
Yeah, I wouldn't look forward to playing the 49ers or Seahawks in the next round.
Well, we've actually called it. When you look at our predictions, and we've predicted the NFC Championship game will be the Bears, either the Seahawks or the 49ers, either way for us. And we're predicting that the AFC Championship game will be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Houston Texans. What championship games they're going to be?
Exactly, and for me, it's as if I'm predicting now, as a Bears fan, I'd rather have the Bills at the moment in the Super Bowl than the Texans. There's no offence to the Bills there, but that Texans is frightening.
I actually think, and I'm going to say it off loud on this show now, I actually think it will be a Texans-Bears Super Bowl. That's what I'm predicting.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, it's... yeah.
But the big picture, what I love about this divisional round, though, every game has clear contrast. You've got youth versus experience, defence versus some firepower there, and momentum versus teams that have had a rest.
Exactly, and that's what player football's at its best. There's no gimmicks now, no excuses. It's about execution, and it's about doing it when it matters. It's stepping up, throwing those passes, winning those yards, and the best, as we've seen from some of these now, it's making those interceptions of those tackles. The defense wins you games, wins you championships. It's you can throw 10,000 yards in a season, but you've only got to make one interception to score.
And we made it this week. Will the Bills and Bears be here next week?
Yeah.
Well, Snappers, that just about wraps things up for today's episode of Mind the Snap. A big thanks for sticking with us, and we hope you enjoyed the ride.
Absolutely, and as we always say, you're welcome to keep the conversation going. Find us on Instagram at Mind the Snap Podcast, over on X at Mind the Snap Pod, and of course on TikTok at Mind the Snap Podcast.
Make sure to drop us your thoughts, let us know your hot takes, give us a follow. We love hearing from you guys.
We do indeed, so get involved in our rookie thoughts. Let us know where we're going wrong. Don't forget to tune in next week to see how we did with our predictions. And as usual, we'll be diving into some more NFL action, some stories, and maybe a couple of spicy debates too.
Until then, thanks for listening. And remember,
Mind the Snap.